Well, hello there.
Hello.
A lot of us have been saying for a while, and I'm sure this video is going to go over super awesome, but a lot of people for a long time have been saying Holosun is Chinese, and a bunch of people are running interference for that concept. Then this article came out, and it's the Holosun American or Chinese, and it breaks down the connections between the Chinese government, the PLA, and Holosun, which is also owned by subsidiary companies because that's how China operates. They make 3 or 4 shell companies, and they make one of the companies American if they want to do business in America, so on and so forth, with other countries that have those similar rules and laws in place so that they can say, nuh-uh, it's an American company. It's not, I don't know how to pronounce this shit, which is half of it, right? Huanic, H-U-A-N-I-C, and Huyong, H-W-O-Y-O-U-N-G. So those have direct connections to the Chinese government and the PLA. So a lot of people don't understand this and can't conceptualize it first off, so we'll tackle this very briefly. Some people think that there's a defense industry like here in the United States, and there's companies that make things that are bought by the government. Whereas in China, the way their stuff works is the government owns a majority share, or they outright own the company that's operating. So it's never an independent company. It's never a company that's divorced itself from the Chinese government. There's some sort of stakeholders from the party in their industries, especially if it's any sort of technology that can be used to better the Chinese military or construction or whatever. There are quote-unquote private companies, but they're not private the way that they are private in the United States. Holosun, why don't I run them? Why do I always talk shit about them? And why are they even a problem, bro? Chill out, bro. Everything's already made in China, bro. First off, the article is in the description. So first and foremost, I don't run them because they're cheap Chinese garbage. Plain and simple, they're not duty grade, they break constantly, and their plan is to have everyone in the US do their R&D for them. So they put out a product, we test the shit out of it, we beat the hell out of it, we find out what goes wrong. Through the warranty process, we send it back, or they just observe all the problems people are having from YouTube and other sources, and they make those adjustments. It creates a large testing bed in different environments for their product that they don't have in China, and they don't have to rely on the civilians in China. They just rely on stupid American consumers. And we test the products. We pretty much make the best of their products for the PLA so they don't have to. It's really smart, honestly. To be frank, I've never met someone who has had the same Holosun optic for years. More than a year, honestly. I think 18 months is being generous, but everyone that I've met that has run a Holosun, it's been 6 months to a year and they have something different. Whether it's a different Holosun, whether it's something else, they just constantly are replacing or changing these optics. I know guys that have had the same RMR for years. I know guys that have had the same Comp M4 for years, just beat to shit. They're running it, no problem. VCOGs, ACOGs, you name it. But the Holosun optics, I have never seen someone say, this is my Holosun after 5 years. I'm sure the videos that are in response to this will probably bring that up, but it's going to be after the fact. They don't exist to this day, but it's going to start peeling in, after this criticism, I'm sure. And, after some influencers are bought from Leviathan Group. Honestly, from this channel and, all the years I've been on YouTube that I'm not the guy to run cheap shit. I have one UTG stock on my fucking M16A4 clone. That's it. Now, a lot of people ask me why I always talk shit about Holosun, mostly because of what I just stated, but they're directly tied to the PLA and the Chinese Communist Party.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
And just like other poors and just as good types, I'm the poor mentality, not people that are financially challenged because of their circumstances, but people that make poor decisions. You know, the usual Holosun diehards brings the room's IQ down with their constant contradictions and mental gymnastics, coupled with a massive saturation of hypocrisy while they're at it. They bring the rent down. I swear to God, it's the dumbest shit every single time. It's just half of their jerk-off scenarios involve China invading, like Red Dawn, right? That's what that is. Some other thing in the world happens too. You know, there'll be the shoot the balloon down immediately, Chinese balloon, right? But they want us to protect Taiwan from the Chinese invasion, but they're buying Holosun optics. Like, what do you think they're running on their guns, bud?
Dwight, you ignorant slut!
In certain circles, too, they'll say China is the biggest threat to America. And then in other posts, say the most devoid of moral and intellectual value things I have ever seen. Like this shit. The U.S. government is a bigger threat to me than China is. That's just reality.
What the fuck is going on? What's going on?
That is one of the stupidest takes I have ever heard. And it's not the only one. It's not the only one. All of these. And before anybody claims about usernames, they're on the posts. You can go find it. It's publicly available. It's not a private post, not a private group. These people let these hang out there. And I am very late to the party with this. I'm not posting their profiles. I'm not posting their personal information. I don't give a shit. I'm just taking the quotes. Just so you don't say that I'm making this stuff up. What I don't understand somehow is all it took for you to abandon your position on China.
Let's say China.
And say these morally and intellectually valueless things is a cheap product. You forgot about Tiananmen Square. Like, what the fuck? How do you do this? Like, I know why, and I'll get to that in a minute, but every time I hear something like this, I'm not even mad, I'm shocked. I cannot believe, you walk into a room and you just see the worst clusterfuck of things. The dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. China is one of the worst violators of human rights. Intellectual property rights. They steal shit. They're organ harvesters. The state-sanctioned murders. They run police agencies in other countries, to include the United States, to grab their citizens and drag them back to China if they get too far out of line. Because God knows what they were put here to do in the first place. And I know someone's going to make some comments about how this is prejudicial or some other nonsense. I'm not even going to say the other words so someone can't soundbite it. But Jesus, how do you... Indentured servitude, and it's the most authoritarian regime. A dude with 5 Holosun optics will run up and say, you're a bootlicker, but fail to understand that by buying Holosun products and simping for them, you are licking the world's biggest fucking boot. I cannot understand how you see cops or you see something like that and you will call someone a bootlicker at the drop of the hat, and you are the biggest fucking bootlicker on the face of the planet. People who call people bootlickers are usually the first people to call cops. So it's so fucking dumb. Like, how you even, like, I don't understand how people moralize their positions. Like, oh, you're a fucking bootlicker. And then they just, like... I guess I gotta try to keep this PG, even though I cussed a bunch already, but I don't know how you can say bootlicker with China's boot in your mouth. And that's not to say the U.S. is perfect, by the way, but holy fuck, guys. Sorry we have it so rough here in the U.S. I'm so sorry, dude. Maybe a labor camp where the final end state is getting your organs harvested is better. Or maybe a lithium mine in Africa because they can't pay back the loans. I don't know, maybe they'll treat you better there. Or getting welded into your tofu drag apartment building when COVID's going down. Maybe being blocked from your bank with tanks. Or shit, maybe being the guy in Tiananmen Square getting run over by a tank. Maybe that's fucking better than how the U.S. is treating you. Jesus. I can't I can't wrap my head around these are the guys that are like, I got your back, bro. You don't. Like, you will compromise yourself, your whatever imagined moral standing you have. And I'm not saying we don't have some things bad here, but holy fuck, you lack perspective.
Don't trust China. China is asshole.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, yeah, China. China has your best human rights in mind, guys. They're going to treat you better than the United States. Oh, my God. To get back on track here, why is all this a problem? It's really two things. One, we abandon our principles to fall over ourselves, to support, fund, and do field testing for one of our country's biggest enemies. And two, China has our fucking number. They directly took advantage of our worst tendencies and fueled their objectives towards their global hegemony by just finding out what we suck at. We're just consumers and all this other stuff. And this isn't a ding on capitalism at all. Don't take that from this remotely. But they found that we've gotten to a place, because we've been conditioned over all these years to just buy the next fucking thing. We've stopped giving a shit about quality. And I say we collectively, I know, myself and a few others, we really care about quality and understand that it costs more. But just the state of our gun community, the state of our the United States and all this other stuff is just buy the cheapest shit. Target, Walmart, Amazon, all this stuff is full, like 90 to 95% Chinese products. I bought knives for my girl for a gift, right? And I wanted to buy nicer knives, and I saw one with a German name, fucking Chinese company.
Cross this line, you do not! Also, dude, Chinaman is not the preferred nomenclature. Asian American, please.
Those knives that were going around for a while, I know the Quartering and a few other were doing ads for them. They had a Japanese name. They were talking about Japanese manufacturing techniques. Fucking Chinese company. It's like, if you look a little deeper than the surface, and I'm part of the problem, you're part of the problem, we all did this. But they took advantage of our ignorance and stupidity. So they know us better than we know ourselves. And the worst part is people defend it. They defend the dog shit. Give me the garbage. That is us. That is us on a huge scale. American-made shit is better, and it's more expensive. Not across the board, all right? There's some countries that have beat us on certain levels of manufacturing and certain material qualities and all this other stuff. But the reason American manufacturing fell behind is because of us. We started buying all this dumb shit, and China took advantage of it. And then people defend it. And we're talking like, I cannot give this stuff up. There's certain people and certain companies in senior positions that have parroted this Chinese bullshit, and I'm sure if it came out, it would cause a fucking shitstorm. But if I'll burn things if I say that. But keep an eye on people, because this isn't just like Joe Schmo in my YouTube comments or fucking Instagram hoes. This is like people in American companies saying this same shit. And if this is you, especially for those companies that have defense contracts, maybe you should fucking self-reflect a little bit. Because holy shit, if people knew the things y'all were saying, it'd be some Bud Light shit out there, I promise you. Garbage. But we have ourselves to blame. Right? And even the people that won't buy Chinese shit, like as a habit, will pay more for American stuff. Will pay more for quality things from other places, like our allies, like Aimpoint or HK or something like that. We're getting stuff from friendly countries. Even the Philippines. I would rather do business with the Philippines. Everyone would rather do business with the Philippines over China.
Everything's fine. You'd be like, okay.
They're some of the best pool players in the world. Efren Reyes, he's a celebrity in the Philippines. Like the greatest pool player of all time. He's from the Philippines.
I think they just make me the happiest when I see them.
Interesting.
There's something just so like warm and accepting about them.
And the worst part is we supported companies that started to do business with China, like SIG, Primary Arms, Vortex, US Optics, Bushnell, TrueGlow, and there's other companies out there that these were all the ones listed in this article. But how long have we known that SIG uses fucking Holosun optics? How long have we known that Primary Arms has Chinese optics? And they're like veteran owned and operated. You should know better. Oh my God. You can get shit from the Philippines. Yeah, it's going to be $50 or $100 more expensive. Get the Filipino stuff. They are a strong ally of the United States.
Filipinos, man, they're great, huh?
Oh, I love Filipinos.
Fuck, they're good.
Well, you know, I play a lot of
do
pool.
it?
They're just friendly people, man. Real friendly people.
If I die, or whenever I die, I am going to. I want the last person I see to be Filipino.
Really?
Easily. Who do you want to see? You think?
Why Filipino?
You telling me you're dying, right? You're
Right.
like, oh gosh, and then some guy's like, hello, my name's Joey. My name's
Joey's a common Filipino name.
Joey, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Sonny. They have like kind
Sonny?
of easy
Yeah.
names, you know?
Yeah, friendly names.
Happy names, yeah.
Happy names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. You'd be like, okay.
And SIG has defense contracts, and so does Vortex. Do you guys remember when US Optics used to be good, and now it's just Chinese dog shit? You remember that? Like 15 years ago, US Optics used to be the one. You wanted a US Optics straight 10 because it was awesome, and it was made with American stuff. And not anymore. It's all Chinese garbage. Who do you know that runs a US Optics that wasn't given one to hoe out on YouTube? Who have you seen with a US Optics? I haven't seen anybody in the past 10 years run that shit. These companies have these steep drop-offs. This is why I go so hard on SIG and all this other stuff, is because they've accepted less and they start doing this backhanded shit with China and other stuff, and they start importing all these products and they justify it by saying we're arming the people. Like, we're making sure everybody has good optics. Are you? Are you? Like, there's a steep quality increase with the Japanese or German or European glass, even Miopta, right? Like the Filipino glass, your Vortex PST 1-6 is better than any of the Chinese optics. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But we did this. We fell for the real psyop. The voting doesn't work, and every other excuse that's been allowed. Everything's made in China, bro. What does it matter? Yeah. We got fucked up. We let this happen. And the thing is, we can and absolutely should turn this around immediately. There's great companies out there, either domestic or allies with the U.S., that can replace them. I'd rather, I mean, again, the Philippines. Do business with the Philippines. And I know they go through China because of their imports, but they're not Chinese manufactured. At least it's coming from the Philippines. How many things are we going to lose out on? The pandemic taught us nothing because everyone was mad about it. But if you take a step back, how much of our medical shit is made in China? How many of you are suffering under I can't get my Russian XYZ fixed, or we can't use Straylock because it's sanctioned because of the Russian-Ukraine thing? Man, if someone would just step the fuck up and make another Straylock in the U.S., crazy, right? Or I don't understand. This video is definitely going to bring more trouble than it's worth because of misplaced brand loyalty. And everybody has it. I have brand loyalty too because stuff's treated me well, but y'all are going to do what you're going to do anyway. But don't pretend for a second that willful ignorance and ignoring facts for self-gratification is a virtue. Don't sit there and pretend to me that you're the virtuous one on the hill because you're defending poor decisions by saying China has oppressed me less than the United States. Wait till they start shutting the lights off. Wait till those balloons have more on it than fucking signal and intelligence gathering gear. Just wait. This is so fucking dumb. I can't. It's not even that people want cheap stuff and they're buying stuff from China. It's the mentality and the statements and the diehard beliefs that they are okay in what they're saying. That's what bothers me. Everyone's just going to hear this, that, oh, he doesn't like China and he doesn't like stuff from China. That's part of it. I mean, their manufacturing quality speaks for itself. They have whole cities falling down. But it's the mentality that you would turn your back on your own, that you would just drop something for a non-U.S. thing. You know, the Buy American thing was a big push after 9/11, and then it just died out because of all they have to do is turn financial screws, and we're all suffering. We are all suffering. The greatest economy ever, if you hear him tell it. But my God, guys, that's the one you pick. The one you picked was China has done less to me than the U.S. government. Holy fuck. Give them an opportunity. See how they treat you. Oh, man. Anyways, thanks for watching. I can't wait to see the hellscape of the comment section. And I know the people that regularly watch me are going to have nice discussions with me in the comments. I can't wait. And listen, I don't think just because you bought a Holosun 5 years ago, you deserve to go to prison or be ostracized. We've got to get our fucking priorities right. And they're not right now. They really aren't. With this, the gun community, all of our priorities are fucked. We need to get back engaged. We need to turn everything around because we've allowed it to go to shit, and it's on our watch. We've let the next generation down by not giving a shit about trade deals, not giving a shit about, you know, going to vote and where we buy stuff and what we buy. Like, we've stopped caring, and we got what we deserve, and we need to turn it around. That's what this is. Y'all want to love your Holosuns? By all means, you're going to do it anyway. There's nothing that a guy you'll never meet is going to change your mind, but don't, for the love of God, do not say some backwards dumbass shit like China has done less to me than the United States government. What they've done to the Pacific Ocean and the air quality is enough. Like, you don't... all right, well, that's all I have to say today. Thank you for watching. I hope y'all are doing well. Take care out there.